Hi folks, Padre Phil here. I'm angry, so very angry. I've been asked if I want to talk about what is making me angry, but to do that I would need to be put in a padded, soundproofed room because what would come out would not be fitting of a religious minister. We haven't posted a video for a while at Veterans Chaplaincy. It's been a busy time. Good for us, maybe not so good for those who found the need to speak to us. But there is a lot of anger out there in the world of veterans, and I can understand why. At the weekend, I conducted a VJ Day service, marking the anniversary of the end of the Second World War 76 years ago, with victory in the Far East over the forces of Imperial Japan. That conflict was particularly brutal, with unique horrors faced by those who fought through it, my grandfather being one of them. Our soldiers, sailors and Air Force personnel faced the heat of the jungles, endured long periods, years away from home and family, faced an enemy that refused to give up, and for those who became prisoners of war, the cruelty at the hands of the Japanese. Many soldiers did not come home from the Far East, and many of those who did would be changed forever. The cost was high, but the outcome was victory in Japan. At that VJ Day service on Saturday in Glasgow, we remembered. But the chat afterwards was all about Afghanistan and the events that are unfolding there today. I'm angry, very angry. I've never been to Afghanistan, but some of you watching this video will already know my connection. I was chaplain to a regiment that served in Iraq. We came home in February 2006, and immediately some of my unit were asked to volunteer to support a deployment to Afghanistan. Of the small group of people we sent to Afghanistan, 3 were killed and 14 were wounded. I conducted a number of funerals and memorial services. I met the families and loved ones, some of whom I'm still in contact with today. And it makes me so angry what is happening in Afghanistan at the moment. Victory in Japan. But what is it in Afghanistan? What has been accomplished and at what cost? My friends, I know some of you. I know your courage, your devotion to duty, your loyalty and your self-sacrifice, and you have nothing to be ashamed of. What is happening today in Afghanistan is not a reflection on your service, your character, or your efforts. Sadly, we live in a world where even our best efforts are sometimes not rewarded. Sometimes the best of intentions, the greatest of sacrifices, don't get the recognition they deserve. But that doesn't mean that they are meaningless or worthless. One of my favourite lines from the movies is that epic, in that epic starring Russell Crowe as the gladiator. In the opening scenes of the movie, General Maximus, the gladiator, is gathering his cavalry to mount a flank attack on the enemy to their front. In motivating his troops, Maximus says, "Brothers, what we do in life echoes in eternity." In that sense, it doesn't matter what the outcome is today or tomorrow. It doesn't matter what the weak-minded think of your service or what's happening in Afghanistan. What matters is what you gave in service echoes in eternity. Those we lost are not and will not be forgotten. There is a passage in the Bible that talks about there being a time for everything. A time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace. But that passage doesn't stop there. It goes on to say, what does the worker gain from his efforts? What does the worker gain from his efforts? I have seen the burden God has laid on people. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the hearts of people, yet they cannot understand what God has done from beginning to end. Yet I know that everything God does will endure forever. Nothing can be added to it and nothing taken from it. God does it so that men will revere him. I don't claim to understand what is going on or why it is going on in Afghanistan today. But I can tell you this, that nothing can be taken from your service and nothing added to it. What's happening makes me angry, but my anger will pass, and I will always remember those who served and those who gave their all. At Veterans Chaplaincy, we're here to listen to you, so don't be alone. Let's talk. Ta-ta for now. God bless.